If you enjoy stories like this, stories of karma, human weakness, and quiet redemption, please consider subscribing. I create many videos like this to bring light to the shadows in our hearts. Thank you, truly. Now, have you ever seen someone on the street and thought to yourself, they must be lazy, they must have done something wrong, they probably deserve it? In a single glance, we judge. But what if I told you, every person you see is carrying a story you know nothing about? A war inside them, a wound you can't see. Like an old man sitting alone in the park, like a tired mother snapping at her child, like a homeless woman standing just outside a bakery window. And here's something to consider. If you have ever been misunderstood, if you've ever been judged, without anyone knowing your pain, then why do we so easily do the same to others? Today's story is about a young baker named Anna, and a quiet woman who stood outside her shop every morning, silent, dirty, and watching. Anna thought she knew who this woman was. She thought she understood, but she didn't, not until it was too late. Her name was Anna Brooks. She was young, bright, kind, but quick to speak her mind. She ran a small bakery in the heart of the city, Brooks and Breads, a warm place filled with the smell of cinnamon and morning laughter. Every day, Anna opened her shop at 6 a.m., and every day, she saw her. A woman, middle-aged, wearing the same gray coat, hair tangled, face tired. She stood just outside the shop window. Never came in, never said a word. Just stood there, watching the bread, watching the people. At first, Anna was curious, then annoyed, then angry. She whispered to her coworker one morning, "She's been there for weeks. Probably waiting to steal something." Her coworker shrugged, "Maybe she's just hungry." Anna frowned. She could ask, "I'm not heartless." But the woman never asked. She just kept watching. So one morning, Anna snapped. She opened the door, walked straight up to her, and said, "If you're not going to buy anything, please don't stand here. You're scaring my customers." The woman looked at her, eyes full of something Anna didn't expect. Not anger, not shame, but sorrow. Deep, aching sorrow. She didn't reply. She just turned and walked away. That night, Anna couldn't sleep. There was something about those eyes, something haunting. The next morning, the woman didn't return, nor the next, or the one after that. On the 5th day, an elderly man came into the bakery. He held a small note and a tiny pouch wrapped in cloth. He approached Anna and said, "You don't know me, but I believe my sister used to stand outside your shop." Anna blinked. "Your sister?" He nodded. "Her name was Lillian. She was different. After our parents died, she stopped speaking, but she loved the smell of fresh bread." Anna stood frozen. The man continued, "She told me once that your bakery was the only place where she felt safe, even from the outside." He handed Anna the pouch. Inside was a single paper flower, handmade from newspaper scraps, and a short, messy note, "Thank you for the warmth, even from behind glass." Tears filled Anna's eyes. She realized something. She never knew Lillian's story. She never asked. She judged. That night, Anna placed the paper flower on her bakery counter, and beside it, a handwritten sign, "Free bread for anyone who feels unseen." Let's pause for a moment and reflect. Why did Anna cry? Why did that simple paper flower break her heart? Because for the first time, she saw, not just with her eyes, but with her heart. She realized that behind every face is a life, and behind every silence is a story we don't yet understand. In Buddhism, we are taught to look beyond appearances, to see clearly, not with judgment, but with compassionate awareness. The Buddha said, "One who sees the faults of others and is ever irritable, his defilements grow. He is far from the destruction of defilements." Dhammapada, verse 253. To judge is easy, but to pause, to understand, to feel, that is a practice. Another teaching: hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal law. Dhammapada, verse 5. Anna's story reminds us, we don't need to know someone's pain to be kind. We don't need full understanding to offer dignity. We don't need shared language to give warmth. Judgment creates separation. Compassion creates connection. And what about karma? The moment Anna pushed Lillian away, that was a seed of coldness, of ignorance. But when she understood, when she wept, when she offered bread to those unseen, she planted a new seed, a seed of compassion. This is the law of karma in motion. It is not punishment, it is cause and effect. Every moment, we choose what kind of seed we plant, with our eyes, our words, our thoughts. The Buddha also said, if a man going down into a river, swollen and swiftly flowing, is carried away by the current, how can he help others across? Dhammapada, verse 85. We must first see our own river, our habits of judgment, our inner noise. Then, and only then, can we offer others a bridge. Let me ask you, speech balloon, have you ever judged someone, only to realize later, you were wrong? Did you ever wish you could go back? Leave your thoughts in the comments. This is a space of reflection, not perfection. Take a moment to breathe. Close your eyes and think about one person you have misunderstood. Not just strangers, maybe a friend, a parent, a sibling, even yourself. Have you ever judged too quickly? Spoken too sharply? Assumed too much? We all have. But the beauty of this life is, we can change, we can soften, we can choose again. Anna did. She could not undo her mistake, but she transformed it into something kind. And so can you. There is someone in your life right now. Someone watching from behind glass. Someone standing in silence. Someone praying to be seen. Will you be the one who looks with compassion, or the one who turns away? Let me ask you something difficult. Speech balloon, if someone hurt you deeply, but later you learned their story, would you still hold the same anger? Would your judgment still feel justified? Or would your heart ache just a little? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Your honesty might help someone else heal. And now, a question that may spark debate. Is compassion still necessary when someone never apologizes? What do you believe? Must we forgive only when they're sorry? Or do we choose compassion because we no longer wish to carry pain? Please share this story with someone who needs a second chance, or someone who never got one. You never know, your kindness today could be the one light in someone's darkest hour. And if this story touched your heart, I invite you to subscribe. Not just to hear more stories, but to grow a more mindful, more compassionate community. Because in the end, we don't always need to be right. We just need to be kind.